Hey gamers, another copying chill here. Have you ever wanted to temporarily become completely immune to radiation just by taking 2 pills? Or doom a city full of sickly General Sams
Welcome to Moriarty's.
to die from dehydration? Or wanted to feel nostalgic for a time that you weren't even alive for to begin with? Oh boy, then do I have a game for you. Fallout 1 takes place in the irradiated wasteland of Los Angeles in the year 2022, where after the land was completely ravaged by massive emigration, the government of the area used nuclear warheads to irradiate the border and prevent more people from leaving. However, when the people were faced with either taxation or cancerous tumors, they chose the tumors. But this proved to be disastrous for the rest of the world, causing the radiation to be spread throughout the known population and the potential downfall of humanity. So at the last minute, the government ordered the creation of nuclear bunkers to be built across the United States as a way to protect the few remaining uncontaminated within the population. And then, the government nuked the world to eliminate the Californians from the gene pool, a decision that I believe anyone would have chosen. Fallout 1 is a top-down, time-based role-playing game that was developed by Interplay back in 1997, which, fun fact, was before I was born. This means that the game might have some features that some might consider outdated, like, for example, the option to print your character sheet so you can hang it on your parents' fridge to show them how great of a gamer you are. But these outdated features won't be scaring me away from reviewing it with a total, unbiased, and objective perspective. Anyways, Fallout 1 starts off with the world's last remaining boomer telling you that you've been chosen against your will to be sent out into the vault and hunt for a mechanical component that the creators of the vault were too intelligent to leave spare parts for. Normally, the vault dwellers would just leave the broken stuff broken and not even bother fixing them. However, the machine that just broke was the only thing that was producing water for the entire vault, leaving you 300 days before the entire vault dies of thirst. No pressure. Now that you know what your purpose is, it's time to make your character that you're dooming to fight off the hordes of unwashed bandits with. See, the character creator in this game can be called many things, but I believe the most appropriate term for it would be special, since this system is what we now use today to figure out who lands on the spectrum. Anyways, you can use this character creator to make virtually any type of person, as long as they're not a minority. It's not a joke, there's only white people. But I would advise giving them a more balanced special stats, since all of them are pretty important. Believe me, the last thing you want to do in this game is accidentally make your character too special, because then you have to put up with a character that physically can't make it past half the dialogue in the game.
Have you found the chip? Oh, that's great. Can I have the chip, please? No, not that. I want the computer chip. No, the chip. Just give me the chip!
Anyways, besides special stats, you also have traits. None of them matter at all except for the Bloody Mess trait, which is probably the only reason this game is rated M. The last important thing you'll need to decide is what skills you'll use. Now, fans of this game will tell you that you can make just about any build you want for this game. Those people are openly lying to you, because who would have guessed that using unarmed weapons against highly mutated humans with fucking laser guns might not be considered viable? See, one of the more optimal builds to use is small arms early on, and then move on to energy weapons for the endgame. I'd also recommend using the repair skill as well, because the game devs thought it would be funny to make it be required at some point halfway through the story. Now that you have a character, your first task is to escape the cave full of rats, which is also an introduction to the least fun part of the game, the combat. See, the devs thought that it would be funny if every enemy in the game could stop you just so that they could walk slowly towards you. So, do yourself a favor, go into the game's settings and set the movement speed to max. And while you're at it, make sure the game's difficulty isn't set to insane, because the game likes to preset itself to be very hard. Now, rats are rats, so you could either kill them or simply walk past them. Anyways, once you leave the cave, you're supposed to head east to Vault 15. But if you go there, you're going to need a rope to go down the no longer functioning elevator. So instead, we'll head to the village we passed by in order to reach the vault. Anyways, once you reach the village, what you're supposed to do is talk to the person guarding the town and trade with them, because they're totally what anyone would assume to be a traitor. The reason I've been giving you step-by-step instructions is because you need to have the 1990s gamer mindset in order to make progress in this game. And if you think I'm not completely serious, I've literally watched a 19-minute long video of a guy who couldn't find any rope to save his life and went insane. So, do yourself a favor and become a 90s kid. Anyways, the proper 1990s gamer mindset is to then go to every single NPC in town and try to do everything that you can possibly do with that said NPC. Also, you are tasked with actually remembering all those things said in the dialogue options, in case they come up again in a quest. On top of that, you need to save right before you start speaking to all of the townsfolk, because some dialogue options might turn that NPC hostile. And then, turns the entire town hostile. Anyways, from here on out, I'm not going to give you step-by-step instructions, because this is a review, not a guide. Also, something you'll find out if you talk to all the people in town is that some people can be recruited. Do yourself a favor, don't recruit them. See, in Fallout 1, followers can get in your way and even soft lock you by going into a door frame and staying there. And no, there is no way to push them out of the way. Followers also have the ability to shoot you on accident, and chances of this happening exponentially increases if they have a burst fire weapon. On top of this, you can't even use them as bullet sponges because you can't give them armor, and they can permanently die. So do yourself a solid, don't even bother. Side quests are also present in Fallout 1. Most of them are interesting and have multiple endings. I really don't want to spoil most of them since they are actually kind of fun. However, not all of them are complete bangers. For example, this one quest starts with a rumor of a monster that has been going around raiding caravans out in the wasteland. So what you do is you go to a guy who survived an attack from this creature, and he immediately takes you straight to the monster's lair, where you then have to kill a Deathclaw. I hate this quest for two reasons. Because one, the Deathclaw is fucking tough, and you will most likely come here underprepared. And two, because this quest makes you assume that Deathclaws are supposed to be extremely rare and mostly unknown. But the game then retcons itself by putting a nest of them in between a city and a store that makes and sells guns. After a while of exploring, you'll eventually end up finding the precious mechanical device that your boomer leader sent you out on a suicide mission to find. And once you give it to him, he immediately sends you back out in search of a threat to the vault. Turns out he's just racist against green people. Anyways, even though the vault door is canonically designed to survive being hit directly with a fucking nuke, and these green ogres most likely don't have anything stronger than an RPG-7, you still head out there in order to hunt them down and cause an ethnic genocide. Anyways, the second half of the game leads you into a false sense of security because the timer is now gone. However, the timer is not actually gone, and all of the towns are slowly being wiped out by the Green Menace. So, after teaming up with the psychopaths worshipping technology, you head off in search of the mutants' evil hideout, which turns out to be a hidden military base. Anyways, after going through the base, you get to confront their general and explain to him why giving military weapons to the mentally disabled isn't a good idea. You then find the location of their leader, the creator of autism, who also looks like a literal spawn of fucking Satan. After sending Mr. Extra Chromosome into his own isekai, I'm sorry, what I meant to say was after convincing the Extra Chromosome to send himself into his own isekai, because no, you are not going to kill him. Even with the best weapons and armor in the game, he'll still win because he spams mass infantry at you, which are super mutants, which are tanks. Every single turn, he adds more. How the fuck are you supposed to do this? After all of that, you then get to return to your home, the vault. But at the door, you run into the boomer again, who promptly bans you for being too based.
Everyone will want to talk to you. Every youngster will look up to you and want to emulate you. And then what? They'll want to leave. What happens to the vault if we lose the best of a generation? What if we are the only safe place in the world? You just gave us back all these lives. I can't take the chance of losing them.
See, you actually picked the bad ending by doing this. Instead of that, the better option is to actually join the mutants, lose your chromosomes, and lead an invasion of your vault, where you once and for all get to eliminate boomers from the world. Anyways, Fallout 1 is a dated game, but if you can get past some of the technical problems, the game is actually pretty enjoyable. I give this game a super stim pack out of your already max health. Come on, inject it, do it, no balls. Anyways, you can pick up this game on Steam for about $10, or you could buy both Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics for $20, or you could always try it instead. As always, more content to come, hopefully on more relevant titles. I'd like to thank all of the water traders for bankrolling these videos. You are all wonderful people. Because there's none of you, because I don't have a Patreon still.